Good afternoon, everyone. This talk is about the power of perspective, and let me tell you, it really is powerful. What if I told you that the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki were a good thing? I mean, what a daring and shocking way to start a speech, right? And I bet you at least one person in this room disagrees with me. Let me tell you, neither I nor the person disagreeing with me are wrong. For many Americans in 1945, that day was a day that we'll be proud to remember. They saved lives on both sides, completely causing defeat among the enemy side. They ended the war, and they're proud of that. But to the people of Japan, those same bombings were the definition of horror. Children vaporized, cities leveled, and generations scarred. Some pray that day never happened. One event, two stories. Neither entirely false, just told from different points of view. Now imagine these 2 points of view as a source, a diary or a textbook from someone living at that time. One in Japan and one in America. The same exact event, but two very different stories. And here we are, fumbling and guessing over which story is better to use in our exam. We often say history repeats itself, but I'd like to say something completely different. History rewrites itself. And depending on the writing, that's perspective. The point of all this is that we never really know what happened, whether it's a historical event about a celebrity, a headline about a celebrity, or an argument between people you are unfortunate enough to miss. What we are told is what someone either wrote down or witnessed. However, I can guarantee you everything you know is in some way different to what actually happened. Every document, every speech, every account or story is in some way different to what actually happened, filtered and bended by the creator of the source. The place that happens most in is none other than history. Take Julius Caesar, for example. His commentaries on the Gallic War are one of our main sources about his military campaigns. But for Caesar, the purpose of this text wasn't to inspire future generations. It was to impress the Roman Senate, to justify his actions and build his political image. He made himself the hero of the story. Many facts were ignored and some triumphanized, making this not evidence but much rather a campaign ad. Even something as iconic as the signing of the Declaration of Independence is wrapped in perspective. The American founders, those that created the contract, talked about liberty and freedom, yet most of them owned slaves. I mean, talking about liberty and freedom, that's ironic. That contradiction didn't make it into the official story for a long time, likely because mainstream didn't want it there. And let me tell you, the American systems aren't revealing, but rather glorifying the event, making it sound like something way bigger than it actually was. And it's not just ancient or colonial history. Think about modern conflicts, like climate change. It's backed by science, but that hasn't stopped it from being one of the most polarizing topics of our time. For some, it's an urgent call to save the planet. For others, it's an economical threat or even a hoax. The temperature's rising, but so is the divide in how we interpret data. And you guessed it, different people are going to have different opinions on it. Finally, it can be something as simple as a story from a friend about an argument. Depending on what emotions they will want you to feel, they can modify the story, which can cause a completely different outcome. And when you go on to tell the story to someone else, you basically feed them inaccurate information, like most sources do. It means that the truth is not always clear. It means that we have to be careful whenever we accept any version of the past as the truth. Every diary, every textbook, every article, each a version of reality shaped by the author's intentions, biases, and limitations. That is one thing we have to be aware of. Whether you're a historian or a simple person, the system has made it that we never really know the full truth. The power of perspective doesn't just shape history. It shapes how we see the world today. The stories we choose to tell and the ones we leave out define ourselves. They influence who we admire, who we blame, and what we believe is humanly possible. So I push everyone in this room to do something people don't want you to do. Inquire, ask questions, and double check. Read multiple sources or ask different people. Ask who's telling the story and who's missing from it. Because when we understand that every account is a perspective and not a fact, we become better thinkers, better listeners, and better citizens.